Sometimes you just have to check you haven't got anything in your teeth. Let's do this. Today I have a pretty special video to share with you. Basically, I am nearing 1 million YouTube subscribers. There are nearly 1 million of you. That is insane. I wanted to look back at my journey to 1 million subscribers. Whether I've hit a million or I'm close by the time this video comes out, it doesn't matter. I am over the moon to have got to where I am on this platform. I feel like with YouTube it means so much, because I think YouTube is just that platform I think it's one of the first websites I remember when the internet came about, and that I really used to go on and use all the time. Like, it's just always been part of my life that when I want to find something out, or when I want to get inspired or discover new people and new trends, I go to YouTube. Like, it's just always been a part of my life. Some of you may know my story and some of you might not, but either way, I just wanted to recap on the last 3.5 years from when I first got my jump rope and I started learning how to do this, to now, a YouTuber. I find it funny to call myself a YouTuber, but I kind of am, and it's just dawned on me recently that I'm a YouTuber. From me literally being a saleswoman selling business supplies on the road a few years ago, to now sharing my passion, my newfound passion. Get comfortable, grab a snack, and let's go back to the start of my journey. So my journey started in April 2020, which I hate to say the word, but we were in lockdown. The world was in lockdown, pretty much. Like many others, this had inconvenienced me in many different ways. The first major thing that started to fall apart in my life was my wedding plans. We were set to get married on Good Friday of that April. I think it was the 10th. You know what, I can't actually remember. Obviously that date was such a big part of my life whilst I was planning the wedding, and now it's amazing how it's just gone. But I think it was the 10th of April. A couple of weeks before that, I was set to go to Prague for my hen do, or bachelorette as some of you call them. The world started shutting down and the hen do was the first thing to go. And I was kind of like, at the time I was just like, oh, it's fine. It'll just be the hen. This is just going to be a 1-week lockdown. We'll be out of it by the time the wedding comes around. And then time went on, and obviously it just became more and more clear that this was not something that was just going to blow over. And the wedding got cancelled as well. So after spending so long preparing for that big day, it was like so disappointing. And also, I think it was particularly disappointing because we were so close. We were one of the first weddings, I guess, in the UK to be cancelled. Like, anyone who had their wedding booked around then, like, no one had experienced, we were the first to experience having our wedding cancelled. Yeah, we just had to accept it. I mean, look, pandemic, what do? You just have to keep going. A couple of days went by and the next thing to happen was I got furloughed, which was a scheme that came out in the UK which basically allowed companies to lay off their staff for a period of time whilst still paying them a percentage of their salary. So not the full salary, but a percentage. That happened to me. So I literally went from 2020 was going to be my year. I wasn't in like a career I was obsessed with, but I was quite content in my job. So my job, I have talked about it before, but I was an account manager for a business supplies company. So I used to sell like everything and anything that people would need for their offices or businesses behind the scenes. So even like hotels, office blocks, like we would supply furniture, paper, stationery, print, anything. I used to have lots of accounts that I would visit to basically make sure they were happy with the service, do some firefighting and make sure any issues are resolved. Make sure they keep spending with us, basically. That was my job. So basically I was a female Michael Scott. I actually quite enjoyed that job because I could work from home, and I just used to do a lot from home. Obviously I'd visit the office sometimes, but mostly I was at home and then on the road visiting customers. So it's really fun and I loved all my customers. So imagine if any of my customers, imagine if they're watching this video and be like, hi. I was getting married, I had my hen do, and I was gonna go on a lovely honeymoon to the Maldives. Yeah, it just all kind of fell apart. That was when I decided to pick up a jump rope. There's a woman I follow, Carmel Rodriguez. Jump rope wasn't entirely what she did, it was just a small part of her workouts. I used to get really inspired by all of her workouts, like she's amazing. But I was really intrigued by the jump rope she did. She would do a little bit of footwork, nothing like what I do now actually, but obviously at the time it was super inspiring to me, and I still admire her style of footwork. Like I love it. It's just insane to see where I've come from with that being that initial inspo that got me started. I saw what she was doing and I'd seen it for a long time, but I was like, I haven't got time to learn to jump rope. When I was working all the time and I was going to the gym and lifting weights, like lifting weights was more just the only thing I did. I know this will surprise you, but I wasn't into cardio. So I did a lot of sport in school, but I wasn't into cardio when I decided to start jump rope. Purely, I just wanted to learn it. I just thought it would be really cool if I could do that. That's a flex, to be able to do fancy footwork with a rope. So I was like, I'm gonna learn, I've got time to learn now. So yeah, so I got my jump rope, and when I got my rope I was like, how do I start? I actually thought it was gonna be so much easier. I think it was the 13th of April and I gave it a go and I was like, oh my god, this is so much harder than it looks. I did not look as cool as I thought I would, and I made it look very difficult, which it felt. Obviously I realised I need to do a bit of research into this to find out the easiest way to learn these skills. I started Googling, I started YouTubing tutorials, and to be honest, there wasn't much out there. Not anywhere near as much as there is now, and I think I've added significantly to that over the last few years. But back then it was very limited online on actual tutorials that really truly help you as well, not just like vague ones which are kind of good for the algorithm but don't actually help you get anywhere kind of thing. And then one thing I stumbled across was a community of other jump ropers, like us other jump ropers as if I was a jump roper at the time, which I wasn't, but a community of people learning to jump rope on one of the platforms. And I decided I'm going to create an account so I can tap into this community, because I saw them all, like I stumbled across them all and I saw them all communicating with each other and like cheering each other on, sharing progress. Some of them were much more advanced as well and really inspiring. I decided I'll create an account, but I'm not going to link it to my personal one because that's embarrassing. I don't want any of my friends and family to see. I'm just going to share videos of my journey and hopefully people will give me tips and help me improve. Anyway, one thing led to another and I actually started picking this up quite quickly. I've had a lot of time to put into it, I guess, and I got quite obsessed quickly. So I really worked hard to nail different skills. And I guess within a few months, I suddenly noticed that people were actually following me who weren't in the jump rope community and asking me for tips on how I got started and asking me to do tutorials and things like that. And I do think I was in a very strong position because I was totally new to it and I was learning quite fast, but it was like fresh in my mind, all the struggles that I went through. And I was documenting that through video. I was able to really communicate to other people starting their journey as well what to avoid, like the common mistakes that are made, like the things that I did and I could remember so well that I found difficult, and I would create content that was missing when I started my journey. I could see what was missing because it wasn't there when I was trying to find my feet. Because I was having to do a lot of screen recording of other people's videos. There were some tips online, don't get me wrong, but not as extensive as I could have done with. So I was quite keen to help other people, and jump rope really changed my life, like at a time when especially like my mental health had taken a real hit, like having a lot of things go wrong that year. Don't get me wrong, I know there's people that had it worse, but you know, in my little bubble things had really fallen apart for me that year. So jump rope kind of saved me, and it saved me from really going into quite a funk during lockdown times. It kept me productive, it gave me something to wake up for and something to really focus on, and that wasn't just learning the skills. It made me feel good to learn new skills, and that was really satisfying. But also it made me feel really good to help other people on their journeys, and also help other people discover sport that had really had helped me so much and made me feel so much better in a very depressing time. And ultimately everyone around the world was pretty much in the same situation, and people were discovering my account and seeing how much fun I was having despite the situation, and deciding to pick up a rope themselves. So from April 2020 and for the rest of that year, my account just went from strength to strength. But where I was posting was very much focused on just short form content and wasn't so strong on the long form side. And I realised that with some of the topics I was talking about, especially getting people into jump rope and communicating really important information on how to get started, like mistakes to avoid and avoiding injury, which rope is best and how long your rope should be, like all these topics. So that was when YouTube came into my life. Hi guys, my name's Lauren and welcome to my YouTube channel. I need to, as a minimum, put these really important topics on YouTube as videos so that I can at any time just direct people on my other platforms to those videos that have so much more information in one place. I established that on YouTube people are looking for more information and they're happier to hear it all. I'm going to share a video which is as long as it needs to be to get my point across, and that's the difference. People would actually, if you've got a question about jump rope, you can go to YouTube and search for it. My confidence has changed so much. You gradually get more and more used to doing things. You don't realise how much you've changed since you look back a few years. I might have to redo them because I feel like the way I come across now is a bit more entertaining to watch. I'm being myself now. Not that I wasn't being myself then, but I was just nervous to be speaking to a camera, and now I'm just so much more relaxed in front of the camera that I'm myself, and that's what people want. And that's one thing YouTube has particularly taught me, is about being authentic, and I find YouTube rewards authenticity with the multiple different ways that you can create content on this platform. But anyway, I got my YouTube channel up and running, and then by the end of the year I was actually in a situation, because I had gone back to work part-time, so we had the furlough scheme turned into a part-time furlough scheme. I was working mornings and then I was in the afternoon I was off. So I was carrying on creating content for social media, and my platforms were going from strength to strength and my skills were going from strength to strength. I just kept on going. I find like jump rope is just, there's enough progress with every jump that you can get really addicted, and when you get into it in the way I have and like focus on just enjoying it, learning new tricks, doing footwork, having a bit of a dance basically, it's not such a fad. It's not something that you just do and get bored of for fitness. It's actually something you enjoy. I just kept getting better and better, like anyone does who picks up a rope, and it's incredible to watch how I progressed with all of my videos. So going into 2021, I actually ended up quitting my job because they wanted me to come back full time, and I was just like, I'm loving doing what I'm doing with all the jump rope stuff, like I'm sharing my passion, and things were starting to take off. I'd partnered with the jump rope brand that I bought my first beaded rope from, and I'd started working with other brands as well, like clothing brands. And it was scary to take the leap because it's not a guaranteed salary, but I was so passionate and I just had a feeling that it would be the right thing to do and it would pay off. I thought to myself anyway, worst case scenario doesn't go as well as I hope, I could just carry it on alongside getting a job in a supermarket or getting bar work or something. I was like, I'll be fine, I'll figure it out. But it did pay off. 2021 was sort of the year that everything carried on growing and growing. I just continued to get so many more people jumping rope and kept on progressing with my videos, and I kept on progressing with my editing and everything. That was the year that I feel like I really kind of solidified my style actually with a rope, and like the way that I sort of established that I most enjoy doing footwork and dancey routines. As much as I do leg crosses occasionally and different skills in jump rope, I really enjoy enjoyed creating little dancey routines, and that's what I focused on. I focused on what I enjoyed, and I got better and better at that. And I think because I was doing exactly what I was enjoying, my content became even more enjoyable to watch and just reached so many more people. So I have to be honest, in 2021 I didn't do too much with YouTube. I actually carried on directing people to those YouTube videos when they needed help with something. When they asked me questions, I'd always say, go and check out my YouTube channel. I answer all these questions there. But towards the end of 2021 and going into 2022, YouTube introduced Shorts, which have been a game changer. Very quickly, YouTube became my favourite platform because suddenly it just had everything to offer. To be able to share with people those short videos that I love to create, my short routines that people are captivated by ultimately. But then for those that want that bit more information and want to start their jump rope journey, to be able to access those longer videos on the same platform so easily, that was really a big deal for me, and you know, as I said, a game changer. And by August 2022 I had 100,000 of you subscribed to me, which was insane. I realised that some people are just entertained by my content, and that is absolutely fine. I love that for some of you I simply just brighten your day, and I'm so glad when you guys tell me I've done that. But obviously for a lot of people as well, this was just spreading jump rope, getting people into this sport that had changed my life so much. Regardless of the fact it's become my job, having a sport that I like this, that I enjoy so much. And some of those videos I shared then have some of the largest views still now. I wonder if you guys recognise any of these viral videos. And like, I do look back and I'm like, I was pretty good then, but it's amazing to see how much I've progressed since with my skills, but also with my editing and everything, and also with my confidence. Like, I feel like having so many people support your content like this inevitably gives you more confidence when creating that content, which makes it a better viewing experience for you guys as well. So at around the same time that I was starting to share shorts on YouTube, I also started working on my app Fancy Feats. That's probably the biggest gamble I've ever made in this jump rope career because of how much it cost me to build the app with developers, and continues to cost me, and you know how much time it took to write all of the content to go into it, film all of the content. Obviously I've had the expense of all the shoot costs as well, and it was such a huge project. It couldn't have been more timed perfectly with also sharing my shorts with you guys on YouTube, receiving your requests and receiving your comments for more content, because it just solidified that I was doing the right thing and I should believe in it. So obviously that all took place. That kind of early success on YouTube Shorts also gave me the confidence to try a new style of video, which was to wear a microphone for my sessions, just record the whole thing and share behind the scenes with you guys, and actually talk to you guys as I'm making my routines, which I call my mic'd up BTS.
You like that? Got to keep it simple. Oh, no.
And that has enabled me to share a much more genuine picture of how I create my videos and how challenging they are to create as well. And I think it's inspired you guys more because you've kind of realised that actually it is normal to mess up, and I can do what Lauren does if I put the work in, because ultimately that's what I'm showcasing, that this isn't something you're just lucky and born with. You do have to work at it. And by showing that larger picture of what goes into all my videos, I think it's just made people realise that I am human. Like, I'm not just some lucky person that was built with this skill to jump rope. I didn't come out of the womb being able to jump rope, and I don't even just go into my sessions with a routine in mind and just get it. I actually think that is more inspiring, because when you know that if you work at something you can do it yourself, I actually think it means that you're more likely to do it. It becomes more achievable for you. Whereas when you think that someone is just naturally good at something and able to do it like that, you think, well, I could never do that. And then it was sharing those videos and continuing to progress with everything, that you guys really spurred me on, you know, asking me to create long form content, to share more of my life behind the scenes, and also to share more educational things. I really appreciate you guys, because you gave me the confidence to start properly and consistently sharing long form content on YouTube. And I'm so grateful that YouTube introduced shorts, because I think for creators like me and anyone generally, long form content is quite a difficult thing to start with and grow an audience from. But actually the introduction of shorts has really enabled me to reach an audience, to reach you guys, and then actually elaborate on some things in my longer content and show you a bit more about my life, which I was a bit unsure about doing at first, but now I'm getting into it, and I really enjoy doing it. And being able to share with you so many different types of content has just really enabled me to grow a strong YouTube community. I'm so grateful for my YouTube community, honestly, and you guys have loved it. Like, I've actually got some comments, so thank you. Like Georgie, this was so enjoyable, love the skip and rope content, but this was just as amazing. I'm down for any content that you feel comfortable enough with sharing or creating. William said, Lauren, I'm 73 and will never jump rope, but your videos always bring a smile to my face, and I love to watch the skill and joy you bring to a mundane activity. You're just a breath of fresh air and a joy to behold. Thanks for sharing your passion and skill. Nat said, Lauren, I love how real you are. You're such an awesome athlete and people always find something to be upset about, but you're still doing the damn thing. Thank you for sharing. Lauren, thank you for the behind the scenes video. I think this was a fantastic idea and the format was great. We get to see from a different perspective, which is always refreshing. I really enjoy watching your successes in jump rope, but I also appreciate watching the trials and tribulations that you go through. Johnny Bravo, I don't think that's Johnny Bravo, but he said, yes, more videos like this. We want to know more about Lauren jumps. Sarah's always commenting, thank you. Yes, more of the type of video, please. You could do hang with me type videos where we see what else you get up to. I actually need to do more of those, to be honest. I'm often out and about and I feel like there's usually something proper happening in a video, but I actually need to kind of show you my day to day. But I'm always like, is it a bit boring? Because I'm like just hanging around the house. But I suppose I could talk you through what I'm doing, because there's a lot to what I do than just my videos. Like, there's so much behind the scenes that I do, like all the preparation, all the editing and everything else. So yeah, those are some of the comments I got when I first shared my first like long form piece of video, and I'm so grateful for you guys for engaging with it like that and engaging with all my content, because it keeps me going, honestly, and it keeps me sharing this content. So 5 months on and I am still sharing long form videos, and I love it because I feel like you guys just know me better. Like, my YouTube community knows me better than any other platform, because you guys see my short videos of me getting the routine like squeaky clean. You see my slightly longer videos of my behind the scenes of those routines. And then you also see these videos. You've like given me the confidence to just be myself, like goofy, weird self on here. And ultimately, as much as I know that some people are here just to be entertained, your support has enabled me to grow on this platform and reach a wider audience of people who would benefit from having a rope in their hands, would actually enjoy jumping like I have, and would, you know, find it a great escape from day-to-day problems in life. So here we are, close to 1 million subscribers. As I said, it is crazy to me. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. It's given me so many opportunities, like creating my app, working with brands, and generally just being able to get this sport out there. Like, I'm also grateful to be able to share about the competitive side a bit more, which I've been doing in my long form content, because jump rope is so much more than just a playground activity, a warm up for boxers, or just a piece of fitness equipment. It's actually a way for people to express themselves through movement, to escape, to just have fun, whether you're an adult or a child. That's what I'm trying to get out there. So thank you for making it possible. Keep on sharing your lovely comments. I want to shout out to Cyberspace Girl. She wrote a lovely comment the other day. This is my fave of yours. It literally brought happy tears. Whenever I'm watching long tedious videos, politics, etc., I like to take my short breaks and watch your videos to bring the joy back. I mean, that's what it's about, isn't it? Like, I just want this to be a positive place where people can come and escape from day-to-day like politics. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, but Teffy Sheep, she's my In It sister. She's always commenting about saying the word in it because it's in her vocab as well. In it, definitely a rap. Of course you're a dancer. You put technique, musicality and choreo together and create rope jumping dance. I assume you'd been a dancer before you picked up a rope and you say in it. I'm always being teased for in it. That's not on. You shouldn't be no one should be teasing anyone for saying in it. Aaron said, thank you for showing what happens when you're willing to dare to try something different. A great role model for showing what happens when following your dreams can bring so much. And actually I think that's a good place to end this video because I'm 32 this month and I spent like my 20s working jobs and wondering when am I gonna end up with something I actually see myself doing for the rest of my life. I never thought I would find it in a hobby because I know it's difficult in life, like ultimately we have to earn a living of some sort to keep going and it can be risky to follow dreams. I feel like if I had discovered jump rope in my 20s when I was wrapped up in working, I just wouldn't have considered it as something I could pursue as a career potentially. It was only the fact that I discovered jump rope in lockdown when I'd sort of cleared the decks and I didn't have anything else to think about that I pursued that thing. And you might not be able to pursue a dream as aggressively as I was able to because of the situation. Consider helping other people and inspiring other people with that passion and hobby as well. You never know where it will lead you. Even if it's just doing a little bit of that a week alongside your full-time job, you literally never know. Thanks again. I love you all and I will see you in my next video. That's a wrap, innit? $1 million YouTube